Well. Look what we have here. We've got week 10 of the Honorable Mention show here on the internet. I am Josh Mancuso along with brother Caleb, who's dressed up as a gangster.
Pow, pow, pow.
Oh,
We
give it.
back.
Let's go. I like it. You look good, brother.
No, not as good as you, brother.
Well, yeah, we can all look this good. Oh man. Well, we're here for a special Halloween episode. This Hallows Eve of Halloween, I believe. October 30th, 2024, the year of our Lord. So we're doing the college football pick'em show, Honorable Mention Network. So make sure you're streaming and watching on Twitter and the YouTube and Facebook. Honorable Mention Sports. That's the name of our company. Whatever. What do we do? I like that cigar. That is quite amazing.
Only the finest. Only the finest from Havana.
Oh, it's good. I like it. I've got a nice tobacco pipe here coming in. Look. Oh, Gina. We already got the comments coming in. Love the costumes, guys. Thank you, Gina. We worked very hard on them 5 minutes before we started the show. Caleb, how do you feeling? Where'd you get this costume?
Well, this is my normal outfit on Saturday nights, so I just busted out for Halloween when Halloween's on weekdays. How about you?
Yeah, same. I wear this most every day.
And your kids love it when you wear that. I'm sure they're in high school now, so
they do. Yes, they are. They're so excited about all the things I do. If you're joining, come on in. We're gonna make sure you add some comments here. We're gonna talk about my top 25 once again, and Caleb's gonna rip it apart, I'm sure. And we're gonna go over some picks for week 10. We've got 12 games to go through rather quickly. So without further ado, shall we get to the top 25, or you got anything else you want to talk about here at the beginning?
Let's do it.
Okay. As you all know, I come up with a top 25 every week, and it's very important to sports and to the college football community. Everyone looks forward to it. They cannot wait to see what it's going to be. So let's bring it in now. Here we go. This is my going into week 10 top 25. Caleb, what do you surmise from this graphic?
Ooh, so Oregon's still number one. Where's Ohio State? Oh, Ohio State moved up from 11 to 10 after they barely beat Nebraska. Ugly showing. Ugly showing by the Buckeyes. Whew.
They snuck by Nebraska. They did.
What was your thought there?
Well, first of all, I got Indiana at 7. All right. Now, Indiana's 8-0. Now, they beat Nebraska like 56-7 or something like that. So, Ohio State just snuck by them. So, all this nonsense about Ohio State's better than Indiana. Well, we'll see. If they play each other, then we'll decide who's the better team.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
You still comfortable with Ohio State at 10? I think Ohio State, they're looking rough. We're going to find out this weekend, but I am not impressed.
So you're starting to agree with my potential ranking of Ohio State. Maybe they're not a top 5 team, huh?
Well, I thought they were a top 5 team until he played Nebraska, and then they were booty buns, so they almost got beat by the Cornhuskers.
They were booty buns. I agree.
It's a good 1920s term for you.
I like that. For you, look at this. You're the gangster. That jacket is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. Wow. Saturday Night Fever.
I'm quite jealous. That is, and the hat, the sunglasses, you look amazing. So, yeah, you know what? The biggest change here is I got A&M up at 5. I believe they are a very good football team. I mean, I know that I don't want to overreact to beat LSU, but they've also got some other solid victories under their belt. I think they're a great team. Let's put them up there. Why not? Go Aggies, gig them.
Okay, so I said last week on the show that they are consistently overhyped by ESPN.
Yes,
every year. They do have a new coach in Elko, so have they turned the corner, or are they still the overhyped train? I'm still not sure I believe it from Texas A&M. I mean, they're a good team, but LSU just they were awful. LSU completely just they didn't play well at all. I thought Nussmeier was the guy. He didn't play well at all. So we'll see from Texas A&M. I don't know if I'm sold on them in a top 5.
Okay, that's solid analysis. Is it possible that LSU is overrated and not as good as we thought?
Oh, yes, that's very possible. And that goes back to them almost losing at South Carolina, a game they should have lost.
Yep.
But how long until Brian Kelly is he hot seat close? Is he close to the hot seat?
I think he's warm seat. I think
Do you think he's really warm seat already?
I think possibly. I think they want to win championships down there in Baton Rouge. And I think
Yeah.
if you're barely hanging on against South Carolina and you're getting beat by A&M and that's not. But he's built a great program. He's got it going on. I think he deserves plenty of time. He's a good coach. Who are you going to go get that's better?
I don't know. I don't know either.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
feel like every coach is on the warm seat all the time. That's what it feels like in 2024.
Yeah, in the SEC, that is how it is.
Yeah.
That is how it is. I'll tell you another coach that gets on the warm seat quick. His seat's going to go from warm to red hot is if Ohio State doesn't win against Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Day's seat is going to get very hot.
Yeah, Ryan Day, he may see his last day as head coach of Ohio State if they don't win against Penn State. So, listen, top 25. We got anything else stick out to you here? I mean, I got Texas at 8, BYU at 4. I'm not afraid to rank the Mormons at number 4. Let's go.
Wow, that's a strong pick. They've looked really good. I'm not sure their strength of schedule is as good as some of these other teams, but they've only played the teams they've got on the schedule, and they've put a whooping on them. Where do you put Army at? 21. All right,
21.
Okay, I like Army at 21. I think that's fair. We'll see what they got going on here in a couple of weeks when they play Notre Dame. Army plays Air Force this weekend. Bad Air Force team, but still big game. You never know. Last year, Air Force was undefeated, and Army came in there and whooped them. So
Yeah.
you never know what goes on in a rivalry game like that. Tell me about Tennessee at 9. So I've seen some things on ESPN about they're saying Tennessee's going to drop out of the college football playoff. They don't even think they're going to make it, especially if they lose at Georgia. They think they're out as 2 loss. What do you think?
Well, I would say, I mean, if a 2-loss Tennessee should be in the playoff as far as I'm concerned. If your 2 losses are Arkansas and Georgia, if Georgia goes 11-1,
yeah,
SEC championship. I think it's tough to keep Tennessee out. A lot of the predictions I'm seeing has got Tennessee in, which is assuming that they're probably 10-2, right? So I think Tennessee is in at 10-2, or they should be. It depends on what else happens. Like if Miami loses, they're going to drop down. If BYU loses, all these teams that are up there that could drop if they lose, gives Tennessee a better chance. But the best thing Tennessee can do is go beat Georgia, beat Kentucky, beat Mississippi State, beat Georgia, control your own destiny.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a question from Brett Lanier. He says, will Army go up to 19 after beating Air Force? I like that a lot. I think they should go up to 15.
Why not? I mean, Air Force.
Are you willing to put that on the air? If they beat Air Force, they're 19 next week.
Sure, 19 now. They beat Air Force. They're at 15.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'm not afraid.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm here to play ball. So Army is the real deal. And listen, Navy, not the real deal. They're good,
not the real deal,
but they're not the real deal. I mean, as suspected, I didn't have them ranked in my top 25 last week, and everybody was like, "Where's Navy? Where's Navy?" They lost. That's where they are. They lost to Notre Dame badly, as I expected, and so they're not ready for the top 25. Army is. Go Army, beat Navy.
Agreed. Navy had like 28 turnovers last week, many of which were just on the handoff. Had nothing to do with Notre Dame. They dropped a pitch and fumbled a handoff to the fullback at the beginning of the game. I also thought they looked shocked by Notre Dame's physicality. They took some hits at the beginning, and their kids looked a little shocked, which is, that's understandable. But still, so we're getting a lot of comments about Vanderbilt. You move Vanderbilt out of the top 25 after they gave Texas all they wanted. Boy, they sure did give Texas all they wanted.
They did, and what a game! I mean, Vanderbilt had a chance to win that game. It was pretty remarkable. I think Vanderbilt is a legit good football team.
They are.
The number 25 spot. I'm going to pull this up here. Let's go back to it. The number 25 spot was a tough one for me because I don't know who should go there. It's like Missouri's really not good enough to be there. Vanderbilt's got 3 losses. Memphis is 7-1, but they're Memphis. I don't. I mean, I don't know who goes there. I gave it to Missouri just because they're 6-2. They've got only 2 losses, and they have won a couple good games. Um, so I'm sort of innocent until proven guilty. I think Missouri is a pretender, not a contender, and they're going to lose again, and then they'll drop out, and we'll have somebody else in there. But um, you know, Vandy, would you rank Vandy right now at 5-3?
Yeah, I'd rank Vandy. They got one bad loss, which is to Georgia Southern. That's a bad loss, but man, I mean, they beat Alabama. One of those losses is they barely lost to Texas last week. They gave Texas all they wanted. I think they're better than a lot of those teams up there.
Mm,
That definitely. I mean, you got Alabama at 18, and then Vandy not even in the top 25, right?
yeah,
And then you also got Missouri.
right.
I don't think Missouri's not good at all. Every time they play a halfway decent team, they fold like a cheap tent every time.
They do.
So
That's a great analogy. Yeah,
yeah.
they do. It's bad. I did sneak Colorado in there. Dion, prime
Oh,
time, Shador,
oh.
showing the watch, showing the watch.
So
Uh,
you have not traditionally
it's a
been
Fitbit.
a primetime coach fan with the showboating in Colorado, but you
No,
got them in this week. Do
I
you
got them
think
in.
they're legit?
Well, they're 6-2. They've won some good games. They're competitive. They have a great offense. I mean, they're a good football team, no doubt about it. I don't think I don't like the way that they showboat and you know gallop around and
Showboat.
show off their jewelry and their bling. I don't like it. I don't like all the glitz and the glam. But they're still a good football team. They got Dion, and as soon as his boys graduate, I'm sure he'll be out of there, going somewhere else, and they'll be back to 5-7. But for now,
Agreed.
they're doing well.
I agree. You know, everyone talks about Colorado and they say, well, when they get an offensive line, a defensive line, they'll be really
Mhm.
solid. But the other question is when they lose a Shador Sanders and they also lose Travis Hunter, what then? I mean, those two kids are two of the best players out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, they might be in real trouble when those two leave. I could see Dion deciding to move on, which probably for him will mean he upgrades to another Power 5 school. He's
yeah.
so popular, but we'll see.
Where could Dion go? You think would he go to Florida,
Ooh,
Florida State?
I've been hearing that. Can you imagine Dion coming back to Florida State?
I cannot imagine it.
Oh, that is a recruiting just wow.
That's assuming
Goodness
that Mike Norvell
gracious.
doesn't keep his job, which, I mean, I don't know. You go undefeated one year and then you can barely win a game the next year. I'm not sure what to make of that. That's quite the puzzler.
That is quite the puzzler. It's quite the puzzler. I tell you what, I bet if Dion called them right now and said, I will come at the end of this season, Mike Norvell will be out the door tomorrow.
See ya, Mikey. You're done. Dion's
Yeah.
coming in. Yeah.
No doubt. So there's a couple questions coming in of people asking, just joining. Do you think the Aggies make the playoffs if they're a 2-loss team? Do you think Alabama has a chance to make the playoffs, or are they out no matter what? I love those questions.
Good question, Jeremy Berry. Do the Aggies make the playoffs if they're a 2-loss team with the second loss coming in the championship? I think so. I think they've proven that they are good. They lost that first game to Notre Dame. That's the first game of the year. You can say the same thing about Clemson, who got uh,
Yeah.
boat raced, as they say, against Georgia. But they're still, they've put it together. So I think A&M, if they make it to the SEC championship game, that means they've probably beaten Texas, right, in their
Yeah.
final game of the year. In which case, you beat Texas, you beat LSU, you beat a lot of other teams. You're going to the SEC title game. Yeah, I think they're in, and they deserve to be in. What do you think, Caleb?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the win over LSU was a big win. They've got some opportunities coming up. If you beat Texas, yes, you should be in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the loss to Notre Dame was week 1, and you got Notre Dame's a good team. I mean, they're going to be in the
Yep.
top. It's a bad loss because it was at home, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think a 2-loss Texas A&M team probably gets in, especially if you make the SEC championship. I think you're in.
I agree. Chris Croft, who's a Tide fan, any chance Bama makes the playoff, or are we out already no matter what? That's a great question. I don't know, but I suspect Alabama is probably out. That's just because I don't see a path to the SEC championship game for them right now. right? Because they've
Well,
lost to Tennessee, they've lost to Vanderbilt, so they're going to have to get into the playoff without playing in a championship. And if you've got Texas, A&M, Georgia, Tennessee hanging around at the top, it's going to be tough to get an additional team in there. I think, especially if you've got Penn State, Ohio State, you got these other teams up there as well. It's going to be tough.
I know it.
I don't know, Chris. I don't
That,
think they can do it.
no, that's the problem, Chris. Is I think they're definitely one of the 12 best teams. It's just
Yeah,
how many SEC teams are going to be able to get in by the time you do the conference champions, and then they're going to level set it a little bit with some Big Ten schools with at-large bids and maybe even somebody else. So, but
yeah,
I'm not sold on the idea that if Bama wins out from here, that they can't get in. They're probably not going to make the SEC championship because they've got 2 SEC losses.
right.
But they still got LSU on the schedule.
Yep.
I don't know. Alabama wins out. There's a lot that goes into Alabama program. I could see them making it if they went out.
It's possible. It depends on how everything else shakes up. And I didn't intend on staying in character for the entire show, but it has happened. And so
It has happened.
Stephen Reed says, "What about UGA? Oh, Georgia. What about UGA, Georgia? Well, first, UGA is a fat dog. It is the mascot for Georgia. But
Yeah, it's a fat, ugly dog.
Georgia, I think, again, they control their own destiny, and even if they were to lose to Tennessee, uh, they still have a chance at getting in. I believe. I mean, I don't know. It's just so many things up in the air. Caleb, I don't know.
I
What do
don't
you think?
know. I mean, if you say obviously, if they beat Tennessee, they're probably in. You would assume that puts them in the SEC championship. So their only other opportunity is they beat Tennessee, lose in the SEC championship, and then they would somehow get knocked out. The 2 teams that play in the SEC championship, if they come in with 1 loss or better, I think they're both going to get in. Right?
Absolutely, yes.
I do too. So the only way I see them not getting in is if they lose to Tennessee. But at that case, you've got losses, 1 at home to Tennessee and 1 on the road to Alabama. I mean, good Lord, man, all these other teams, these conferences, they ain't playing games like that. They're not,
No.
I mean, come on.
You can end up with
they're also going to have thumped Clemson to start the season too.
yeah.
Clemson
Yes.
looks like they're getting in. I don't know. We'll see. You got Miami there, but good chance Clemson already is a playoff team. And they got thumped by Georgia. And then you got losses with Tennessee and Alabama. I mean, how do you keep them out?
I don't know. You could end up with what do you do if you have an 11-2 Tennessee, 11-2 Georgia, and an 11-2 Alabama,
God.
and an 11-2 Texas A&M?
And that could easily happen.
It could happen because you got Alabama beat Georgia, but Tennessee beat Alabama. What if Georgia beats Tennessee? What's just a cluster? I believe is what they call that.
That's a good old fashioned cluster.
That's what that is.
It's a good old fashioned cluster.
That's
a goo cluster.
A goo cluster. Doug says, waiting for Miami to beat Clemson in the ACC championship game, which is more than likely. Although, Doug, we cannot forget about Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, Pitt's still in there,
right? I mean, do they have a chance? Can Pitt compete with Miami or Clemson?
Yeah, they can compete. I mean, they got a good thing going on with Narduzzi. I like that. Man, I think they can compete. Give me Clemson out all 3 of those though. Clemson has the best program there. They're flying under the radar a little bit because they lost to Georgia, and Miami has taken all of the airtime for the ACC. But Clemson's got the best team, best program, and the most experienced head coach. I like Clemson out of all 3 of those.
Yes, I like that. I agree as well. They're right now. I've got if you go back to my all important rankings, I've got Miami at 6 because they've won more games than Clemson currently, and they looked very impressive. I mean, I know that their schedule's not too tough, but here's my thing about that. Players can't control their schedule. All they can do is go out there and win, and that's what Miami's done. They've won all their games. Penn State's won all their games. BYU's won all their games. Indiana's won all their games. So I like to reward those teams for going out and freaking winning. So, for example, let's look at BYU. I'm going to mention this really quick. BYU. All right. Let's look at Kansas State. Kansas State, 7-1. They have 1 loss. Who's that lost to? BYU. Okay. SMU, 7-1. 1 loss. Who's that lost to? BYU. All right. So pretty
Wow.
decent wins there by the
Wow.
Cougars. So the schedule isn't an SEC schedule, but it is formidable, I think.
Yeah, they BYU was an underdog last week in Orlando playing UCF. That was the easiest money there ever could have been taken. I mean, they were just
Absolutely.
giving away money, making
Yeah.
them an underdog in that game.
And you
Goodness
know about
gracious.
taking away money. You're living the gangster lifestyle. That's
Yeah,
what you
that's
do.
right. Yeah, I just bust into a business with my Tommy gun and say, "Pay me the paper."
Pay me the paper.
Pay me the paper.
That's good. What kind of cigar you got there?
Oh man, this is a it's called a Havana Real. This is an interesting
Mm.
cigar. I got this in Little Havana in Miami on a trip I took down there, and they hand roll these things in front of
Oh.
you. So I bought a few. I didn't know if it was like, hey, this is a tourist trap thing, but if it
Mhm.
is, I'm falling for it. I tell you that much. I'm falling right
Yeah.
in it. But yeah, you can. I smoked one in there with a little Cuban coffee.
Mhm.
Incredible cigar.
Mm.
So I bought a bunch, and they've been really good, very good cigars.
I like that. I can
Yeah.
smell it through the screen. It smells good from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
like that. We're gonna move on here. But Brett says, "Loved your last SEC video, Josh Mancuso." Well, thank you, Brett. It just came out last night, and I've been doing these SEC party videos when they all get together and talk smack. So that's good. Stacy, loving the outfits.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Stacy.
Let's. We have a vote here. You guys chime in here in the comments with who's your favorite outfit here. Who's got the best outfit? You
Oh,
like the Sherlock. So I don't know even what you call this, or do you like the gangster, Caleb's gangster? Comment in there. What do you like? What do you like? You look good, buddy. Uh,
yeah.
we got Fortune coming in here. What are the chances I believe he means Tennessee, in Stoops' career this weekend if we ruin those soft little kitties by 30 plus?
Those soft little kitties. Those little kittens.
Those little kittens just meowing about the stadium, and Smokey's just running circles around them.
Yeah. Oh man. They're not gonna fire Stoops this weekend. That would be really magical after all the bad blood between Heupel and the Stoops family. But man, I don't think so. They're not gonna fire Stoops. Stoops' seat might be getting warm, but Kentucky has got such a long leash when it comes to football.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think so. And Stoops is the only coach that I can remember ever winning there. I don't know. Somebody might check me and be wrong, but I don't remember Kentucky ever having much success in football before Mark Stoops. So
No.
I think he's got a good long leash there.
Now, Steve Spurrier coached there years and years ago, and had some, I guess, mild success, I believe, that allowed him to move up in the ranks. But uh, I think somebody can fact check me on that. I thought
Wait, was
Spurrier
that
was there.
Kentucky or was that Duke?
Oh, maybe it was Duke. It's some team that wears blue.
Yeah, some team that wears blue and we beat
Anyways,
all the time.
Stacy says Caleb looks like a blues brother. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I need my
Like that.
saxophone.
Need that saxophone. Matthew says, I thought Josh was Bagger Vance. An excellent movie, Matthew. Excellent movie. I like that. Oh, I gotta hide. All right. So we should move on to our picks, I suppose.
How about picks? Yeah,
We'll
who's on the
pick
slate this weekend? I'm ready for it.
Okay, let's go to the picks here. All right. So on the slate, this was just some good games
There
going
are
on this
good games.
Saturday. One that could be rather sneaky. A team that I was prepared to move into my top 25 had they won against SMU, and they should have won, but Manny Diaz goes for it, goes for two instead of kicking the
Yeah,
field goal to tie the game, and I like it. It's a ballsy move, but Duke Blue Devils taking on Miami.
yeah.
Duke is 6-2. Now I'm picking this game because they got Miami as a 21.5-point favorite.
Oh,
That
give me the points. I want
you,
all those points.
you taking that?
Oh, yeah. Give me those points. I think Duke might win that game. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm not saying, but it's
Yeah.
possible. They got a good team. They got a good thing going on. I live pretty close to Raleigh, Durham. So I
Hmm.
keep pretty good tabs on all three of those schools, NC State, Carolina, and Duke. Duke has a good team. They've got a good coach. They're tough. They play disciplined football. They're physical. Yeah. I'm definitely taking 21.5 points.
100%. I'm with you. I think Miami wins the game, but I think Duke covers that spread. That's a 20. That is 3 touchdowns. and more. That's too much. So we're picking Miami. We're both picking Miami to win this game.
Yeah, reluctantly, but I'm picking Miami. I think Miami's going to hang in there until they get Clemson. I think Clemson's going to get them.
Okay, so Miami maybe runs the table until they get to the ACC title game against the Tigers. Okay, I like it. All right, so picking Miami, but not covering that spread. That's outrageous. It's
Way too many points. I don't
that's
know
too
who made
much.
that line, but they're wasted. Way too many points.
I don't know. Okay, big game for us that we will be attending this weekend. The Kentucky Wildcats
Absolutely.
at the Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville.
Going to be there live. Josh has got a live meet and greet, Alumni Hall. Is that correct?
I do. I think about
Wow.
1 o'clock p.m. The Alumni Hall in Turkey Creek. I will be there doing a meet and greet, taking photos.
In Turkey Creek.
Turkey Creek. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Turkey
Are you
Creek.
going to be surprised if I'm in line?
I would not be surprised. I know you're a huge fan. So
I wear this costume.
that's right. We will all be. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Tennessee, Kentucky. Yeah, I'll be down there. Caleb will be there. Drew will be there, a third partner in this venture. So look for us. We'll be around. Tennessee, Kentucky. Yeah, the spread here. I'm trying to find it. Is at 16.5 for Tennessee. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. I don't know if Kentucky crosses the 50.
I agree. That makes me so fired up.
Oh, let's go! I don't know if Tennessee, if Kentucky crosses the 50-yard line midfield. They might once or twice, but I mean, I don't think they score any points. I think we might shut them out. I'm looking at like a 31-0, just stomping of the Kentucky Wildcats. I think the offense will show up. They're not going to be A+, but they're going to be B+.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's all they need.
That's all you need. And we're gonna throw the ball to Brew McCoy. We're gonna run it. Dylan Sampson's gonna run it all over the place, and it's gonna be beautiful. And Tennessee wins.
I agree. I think it's going to be a blowout. Kentucky's got a good defense, but they're not consistently good every week. They have some games where they're very good against Georgia, and they have some games where they give up in the 30s against teams like South Carolina. Nico gained a lot of confidence against Alabama.
Yes.
Because he didn't just give it to Sampson. He had to make some throws to win that game, and he made them in the second half. Tennessee struggled on offense. He scored 24 points in the second half against Bama. They moved the ball good enough to score another 24 in the first half, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he missed a wide open receiver streaking down the middle. They had a fumble inside their own, 20-yard line. First career ever fumble by Dylan Sampson. Yeah. So, no, I think they're going to find a stretch. If this game was in Kentucky, if it was at Kroger Field, I would be a little more inclined to say it's going to be closer than the experts think, blah, blah, blah. No, not in Neyland. There's way too much energy there right now. Mark Stoops' team is close to getting into the death spiral free fall right now. No one can figure out what's going on with them, but they are not looking good, and they don't have a good offense. So if you don't have a good offense against Tennessee's defense, good luck. I think the Vols are going to run away with it. But so dark mode this weekend. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
What do you think about that dark mode? We're both going to be there for the dark mode game.
We are. I will be dressed in all black, and it is. I love the dark mode. I love the dark mode uniforms. I like the uniform reveal that they did. I love the that orange with black. It's great Halloween times. I mean, I'm excited about the dark mode. And here now, Matthew Cheek says, "Keep sleeping on Kentucky." Matthew, I will sleep on Kentucky.
We're gonna sleep like a baby on Kentucky.
Sleep all day. Kentucky's offense is a sad sight, and Tennessee's got one of the best defenses. I just don't think it's going to happen. Kentucky's defense isn't bad, but Tennessee's offense is too good. Yeah, it's just going to be rough.
I don't know if I love the dark mode. I don't know.
Oh,
you like it?
Oh, hold the phones.
You love the dark mode?
I love the dark mode.
Stacy says she loves dark mode too. I don't know. I'm driving 6 hours to the game, man. I want to see the orange and white.
You want to see the orange and white? Okay.
I want to see the orange and white driving that far. But I'll tell you this. I went to the dark mode game in 2022 versus Kentucky with Will Levis when he said we don't play real football. And then Josh Heupel in his press conference said that was some real football after we beat them like a drum. Anyways, I was there. The dark mode stuff pregame when they turn the lights out and they do the flash. Woo! Now that is cool. That
is.
my gosh,
Yeah.
that's cool. So
I think
I don't know.
the dark mode is a once a year kind of thing. All right,
Once a year.
once a
Okay.
year. That
Just
other than
happens to
that,
be the game I'm at.
yeah, it does. Yes, but yeah, the orange and white's the best. The one thing we cannot do again in Knoxville is we're not doing the orange helmets. Do not give me those orange helmets again.
Never.
That
Never. Throw those things in the trash forever and ever all time.
was awful. One, it didn't look good. Two, it goes way against tradition. It's not like a special dark mode thing, right? It's like a
Right.
whole. And three, we lost to South Carolina badly, and so we needed to get rid of those.
Another game I was at, saw that in person.
You did,
It was
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. Crabtree here, he says blasphemy. He's calling you blasphemous for not liking the dark mode, I suppose.
Come on, Brad. I just want to see that orange and white, man.
Orange or white. Okay, we're taking Tennessee. We're taking the spread even. We're thinking even. It's going to be a thumping.
Yeah.
Okay.
People asking if Tennessee loses to Kentucky, is their season over? I'm not going to say it's over because they get to play Georgia, but now, they got to beat Georgia, and I don't know. I don't want to talk about Tennessee losing Kentucky. Honestly,
no, I don't either. But what do you do if Tennessee loses to Arkansas and Kentucky, but beats Alabama and Georgia? Wouldn't that just be the most Tennessee thing ever?
Yeah, it would be. Oh my God. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. We can't let it happen.
Yeah.
All right, next pick. We've got Louisville at Clemson. It's 10.5-point favorites for Clemson. Louisville supposedly was good at football. I don't think that they're that good at football, so I'm taking Clemson all day long.
Good. Yeah, pretender alert for Louisville. That is the pretender of the pretender. Taking Clemson.
Yeah. All right. Easy. Done. Go Tigers. Next pick. I'm clicking all kind. I'm doing my clicky thing here. Good matchup here. Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy. At Arkansas, playing the Hogs of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Ole Miss is a touchdown favorite. What do you think?
God, dude. Neither of these. I was all in on Arkansas, and then they got crushed by LSU.
Yeah.
And then LSU did what they did last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you pick here? I'm taking it's a home game for Arkansas, correct?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Arkansas. Addison Nichols is gonna freaking get on the pancake bus like he's working at Denny's in the back. Just start pancaking everybody.
That's good. Just flipping pancakes.
He's just gonna be flipping pancakes, man. Yeah, absolutely.
All over that line up front. So you're going with the Hogs. You don't think Jackson Dart and this offense, Ole Miss, they're not going to be able to get it done up there in Fayetteville?
I don't know what to think about either of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd take an Arkansas because they're at home, and Ole Miss I don't trust them. They're the team that has potential, but I don't trust them.
That would give Ole Miss their third loss of the season, which would be pretty. Now
here's a comment I want to see. Brett Crabtree says Kiffin is headed to Gainesville.
Brett,
wow, Brett,
woo wee. That is, maybe, maybe.
I have no idea if he's going to go to Florida, but boy, that would strike fear into the heart of every Tennessee fan.
I agree, and with the roster that he's built at Ole Miss, and if he's still not able to win and to get to the SEC title game, get to the playoffs, he's going to want to go somewhere else where he can do that, and Florida would be an answer. Now, we got people coming in. We got all kinds of comments coming in. Oh, my gosh. It's great. Ole Miss, Adam Collins. Hey, buddy, I know Adam Collins. Ole Miss should win, but wouldn't be surprised if the Hogs win it at home. That's what I'm thinking, Adam. I'm going with you. I'm going with Caleb. I'm taking the Hogs to upset the Rebels. Look, I think Arkansas is probably the best 4-3 team out there. It's so weird to say like the best 4-3 team, but I think they are. I think they're the best 4-3 team, along with Vanderbilt. So I'm taking the Hogs to beat the Rebels. I think Ole Miss, there's just a lot of hype and it's a lot of talent, but they just can't put it together. Fayetteville, Arkansas, is this a night game? Let me see. It's a noon game.
That hurts.
That hurts a little bit. I'm riding with the Hogs. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, taking them off. What else we got going here? Chris, Alabama fan, Bacon Bits loses to Ole Miss. That's good. All right.
Yeah, Chris.
Good pick. I like it. All right. Next game. Okay. A sizable matchup here. Pitt at SMU.
Pitt at SMU. This is a massive matchup. Under
It
the
is.
radar. I mean, it's two
Mm-hmm.
teams that you don't typically associate with major Saturday college football. Man, who are you taking this one? I'm taking Narduzzi.
Yeah,
It's Pitt at SMU, right? They're going down to Pony Express in Dallas.
they are.
All right, I'm taking Narduzzi.
Let's go. I'm
Yeah.
in. That's
Are
gonna
you
be.
really?
Yeah, I'm
You
in.
taking Pitt?
This is gonna be a Narduzzi of a game. But I believe that Pitt.
That's not funny.
Guess not. That was dumb. That was dumb. But I think Pitt stays undefeated. I bet it against Pitt last week that Syracuse was going to upset them, and that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
I like Pitt. I like their team. I know a couple of the guys up there. I'm fans of how they do it, and I think they go out there and win. SMU gets their second loss, dropping out. Pitt moving up, possibly setting themselves up for what Johnny Russell here says. Pittsburgh has the only chance to be in Miami. Hope they beat SMU.
Huh. Okay. All right,
So,
Johnny. We'll see.
yeah.
See, Johnny. How about Texas A&M at South Carolina? That is the 7:30 game on ABC. So I think that's the Herbstreit has that game. I'm assuming he normally does a night game.
Yeah.
Who you like there?
I'm rolling with the Aggies.
Are you?
I hate picking against the Gamecocks because I think that they are a great team. They've got a tough schedule, and I wish they would win more games. I do. I like South Carolina, but I think the Aggies are too strong. It's tough to play in Columbia. You've seen a game in Columbia. I know it's a big upset game potentially for South Carolina, but I think A&M is the real deal. I think they got this quarterback, Marcel Reed, who apparently can run the ball, throw the ball, incredible athlete. Even if Connor Weigel goes back in there, he's still capable of making it happen. So, yeah, I like the Aggies on the road in Columbia.
Wow. Oh, man. I tell you what.
You're going to pick the upset, aren't you? I can see it.
Well, okay. Shane Beamer is the anti-closer. I don't know what is with him, but he is an anti-closer. There are so many close games that they just do not close out. Alabama, LSU. I'm picking South Carolina, man. That place is nutty on a Saturday night. Never count them out. I went there when they were, good God, they were 4-6, I think, when they played Tennessee before they beat Tennessee and Clemson in back-to-back weeks. Every seat was filled out. Sandstorm was going ballistic. You would have thought that game was a top 5 matchup for them.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they pulled it off. Being at night, I'm taking South Carolina. For one, it's a lot on A&M to play these big games. But, welcome to the SEC. It's every week, back to back to back. And then also, South Carolina's got a good roster. Can't sleep on South Carolina. They got a good roster.
They do.
I just mentioned 2 teams that they took right down to the wire, LSU and Alabama. Well, you don't do that without a team that's got a really good roster behind you. South Carolina does. And then lastly, I'm not sold on Texas A&M's quarterback situation. Sometimes in the course of a game, you can throw a kid in out of nowhere, and he just comes out and catches lightning in a bottle. That doesn't mean he's your everyday starter, and he's going to be able to replicate that every week. So for all those reasons, most importantly, they're playing it in Carolina at night. I'm taking it.
That's a great pick. I like it. I do like it. I'm rolling with A&M. Matthew Cheek, he says the A&M defense is scary. I agree. They do have a great defense, but that's a good pick, South Carolina. I like that because, I mean, they're going to break through one of these tough games. They're going to win, and it could be this one.
Yeah, I think it's this one. It's this.
I don't think it is. I hope it's not because I'm picking A&M, and I have to win.
Yeah, because this is so important to you.
Yeah, this is my life.
This is it. A fake mustache and picking A&M.
That's it. That's what I live for. That's what I live for. All right. What else we got? We got Virginia Tech at Syracuse. Who cares about this game? I don't know, but we're picking it. And Tech is better than I thought they were. Syracuse is worse than I thought they were. I'm taking the Hokies on the road.
I'm taking the Hokies too. After Syracuse did what they did last week, forget them. I'm done with the big orange. With that version of orange.
That orange. Their mascot, Otto the Orange, just an orange guy.
His name's Otto?
Around. Otto the Orange.
Otto the Orange. Come on, man.
Yeah. They're going down. He's going to, Sorry. Tech wins that one.
Sorry, Otto. You're going through the juice machine, brother.
All right. the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Oh, place looks like we could go in our costumes and do just fine.
Absolutely. Florida at Georgia. Any chance, Caleb, that the Gators upset the Dogs?
Hell no. There's no chance at that.
Hell
No.
no. Mm-mm.
No. No, 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 no. I mean, there's an argument that they played it close. They played it close at Tennessee.
Mhm.
Georgia almost got beat against Kentucky.
Mhm.
Look, anything can happen, especially in the SEC. They're not. It's not going to happen. Georgia's not going to overlook that game.
No.
And no, 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 no.
No, no,
What
Georgia's
do you
gonna
think?
no, they're gonna be up for this game. Florida will probably keep it close at times just because it's such a rivalry game and it's a
That's
great
true.
moment. But I think Georgia pulls away a couple of touchdowns or more, that they win. So yeah, I don't think Georgia is losing to the Gators. No. Mm.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Give me the Dogs. Go Dogs.
Agreed.
Uh,
Who else we got on this slate?
well, one particular game, a game well, Vanderbilt at Auburn.
Oh,
Can Hugh Freeze? Can he
God.
can he handle the Commodores there in Auburn?
Well, I thought Kentucky was a lock. That was my lock of the week last week was Kentucky
Yep.
because Hugh Freeze is that team is so terrible. But then
Mhm.
Kentucky laid a complete egg. So I don't know what to think anymore, but I'm taking Vanderbilt.
I like it. We're on the
Look
same
at Gina.
we're on the same page. That's sister. I am a comedian. She says, but you are considered a comedian, Josh. She's not like you are a comedian. She's like you're considered. Like
You are considered one.
some people say that
it's
you're a
it,
comedian.
it's been said before that you
Right.
are a comedian of comics.
Yep. Brother Caleb's rolling with Vandy. I'm rolling with Vandy. Auburn just looks just awful. I mean, they did beat Kentucky, but I mean, whoop-de-doo-dah. What's that? Auburn's offense is just as bad as Kentucky's. This Peyton Thorne character, the quarterback, is a thorn in the side of their offense. And I don't
Yeah.
see that. See how I did that, Billy Jack. We're with you. The Commodores go in there and upset, or not really not upset. Any other year would be an upset, but they beat Auburn and Vanderbilt maybe gets back in the top 25. Hmm?
Yeah. If
They'd be set.
Vandy wins, they're back in the top
They'd
25.
be 6-3. I mean, that's
If Vandy wins, they need to be back in there. I think they maybe should be back in there now, but
yeah.
if they win, they're back in.
They're back in. All right, so we're taking Vandy, both of us. All right. A game, Oregon at Michigan, the Big Ten action. I mean,
Oregon at Michigan.
yeah. What do you like there? You like the Ducks going there? I mean,
Ducks are going to go in there and slaughter them.
Yeah.
They're going. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be diving on the Wolverines just like duck after duck, just taking little bites out of the Wolverine.
That's right. Just quacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they're not good. Michigan's not good.
No.
Michigan's not good.
I mean,
Oregon is really good.
They're really good. What do you expect from Michigan? They won the national championship. It's hard to keep that going the next year. The coach leaves, starting quarterback leaves. Everybody, it's a rebuilding year for Michigan.
It is.
So they're going to have to figure that up. But I do think Michigan's defense might, maybe creates a few turnovers possibly for the Ducks. But in the end, it won't be enough. And I think Oregon wins handily.
I do too. Handily win in there.
All right, two more. We got two more games, Caleb. Another Big Ten game here. Wisconsin at Iowa. A who cares game, but evenly matched game here. I'm intrigued by. I like the Badgers. The Badgers are on my list of stadiums I would like to go see. Camp Randall and
Same.
Iowa. You just never know what you're going to get with these two teams. So, what do you think? Wisconsin at Iowa. I think Iowa's got a 3-point. They got the spread there, 3 points. Yep. So,
yeah, I'm taking Wisconsin. I thought they played a competitive game last week against Penn State. They're a little overmatched, but all in all, I'm definitely taking Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's a better team of those two. I'm not scared for them to go to Iowa. I'm not scared of that. Yeah, I like Wisconsin.
Okay,
bring the cheese.
Bring the cheese. Bring the cheese. I like it. We're on the same page with our picks here, buddy. I'm taking Wisconsin to go on the road there at Iowa and get it done.
Yeah, love it. All right,
We got a comment here. Let's go back here to this Matthew Love character. Oddly enough, Auburn is a top 35 offense. They just turn it over a lot.
Well, maybe that's what happened against Kentucky. They didn't turn it over a lot, and they they blew them away.
They were able to win. Yeah, top 35 offense. I don't. That's so does that mean that they're 35th? Because
Yeah, it's an odd number to pick. They're a top 27 offense.
Yeah. All right. So last pick here is the matchup of the week. Most people will
Matchup
say.
of the week.
All right, the Ohio State Buckeyes going to Happy Valley, taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. And Caleb, I'll let you go first. What do you think is going to happen here?
Oh, Penn State all day. They're going to Happy Valley. Oh my goodness. For one, Ohio State doesn't seem that good, honestly. After Nebraska, I don't know. They lost a really close game against Oregon, so I don't want to get too carried away with that. You know they have a good roster. Their roster's stacked, but at some point, Penn State's got to break through the Ohio State Michigan stranglehold on this conference. I think it's today. That game is in Happy Valley. It's all set up on a tee for them. James Franklin needs a big win. He has beat up on Maryland and everybody else forever, and then he loses against Michigan and Ohio State, and everybody goes, yay, nice 10-win season. You beat Minnesota and Maryland. So it's time for him to show up and win a big game. I think they get it done. I hate that this game's at noon. This whole Fox Big Ten, big noon kickoff, man, that is so weak. It's weak, whatever. But hey,
I agree.
At noon, big noon kickoff, and I'm looking forward to seeing Penn State get it done.
Yeah, I'm with you. It ought to be a night game. It ought to be a whiteout there in Happy Valley. It ought to be wild. But the people are saying here, but the comments coming in. Penn State. Caleb's right about Penn State. I like it. Brett with the Penn State pick. A lot of Penn State picks. Everybody, it's a popular pick right now. David Peak says blockbuster. Penn State will not take this one. Ohio State by 7.
Oh,
good pick, David. I am also riding with you, Caleb. I'm taking the Penn State train all the way to the win column. I think it's Penn State's year. They've got to break through. They've got to win this game. They can match up well against Ohio State's defense. They've got what it takes. They have a good defense as well. I think it's a home game. If this was in Ohio and Columbus, I might think differently. But I think the home crowd is going to be a factor on Ohio State. I really even at noon, it's going to be a factor. So yeah, we're riding with Penn State. The Nittany Lions, my boy Todd Blackledge will be proud.
Todd Blackledge.
Yeah, Penn State, great there. So everyone's thinking the Penn State takes it, and that makes me a little nervous because
I know it does, doesn't it? Ohio State 3.5-point favorite in this game on the road. That seems like a pretty big line to me.
Yeah,
be playing at Penn State as a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah, Ohio State has yet to beat a ranked team. Ohio State has not beat a ranked team. Now they've only played one ranked team, that was Oregon, and they lost barely.
Dude.
They played Nebraska, who was ranked earlier in the year, but not now. Barely beat them. Indiana destroyed Nebraska when Nebraska was ranked, I believe. So, Ohio State, they got all the talent, but this whole, all this transfer portal NIL stuff, you got a lot of things happen. Just because you can put together a big old roster doesn't mean you can win.
That is a big old roster.
It is. It's amazing. Penn State, similar to Clemson, they tend to keep their players there. They don't do a whole lot of portal action, and they keep their guys there for 4 years typically, and I like that. I think that's where you're going to see success from these teams like Clemson and Penn State and the service academies, because they got no transfer portal. Like you said, you can only transfer out. You cannot.
Yeah.
You can't come back in. So I like Penn State. I think James Franklin's a great coach. I don't see why they would ever get rid of him. Give me the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, I like Nittany Lions. We got Stacy that says maybe UT could teach PSU, Penn State, how to pipe in the crowd noise to the OSU bench.
Oh, that's good. What do you think about that, Caleb? The piping in the noise. Was that happening?
I don't know. We talked about that last week, and we talked about how there was a story with the Colts where the piped in crowd noise track started skipping.
Yeah, right.
So we know it happens. UT sounded like they've denied all that. So I'm going to take them at their word that they've denied it. I'm curious that the Alabama broadcaster, he never really came out and said he made a mistake, but he also never said where he got his source. That's just an interesting
Right.
thing to say. If you just
Yeah.
made that up on the air, you think you would say, "Hey, I kind of made that up in the moment. I was calling the game," but he
Yeah.
didn't. So I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'll be on the sideline pregame
Pre-game?
for yeah. So I don't know if there'll be what's going on then, but I'll do a little investigating, a little Sherlock Holmes investigating while I'm there, and
You could be looking at the speakers with your pipe.
I will. I'll be down there with my magnifying glass inspecting the speakers, and we're gonna
Magnifying glass behind the bench.
I like Sherlock Holmes gets kicked out of Neyland Stadium for messing with the speakers.
Oh, you're gonna say I'm here for Kentucky football and I'm inspecting the speakers.
That's right. Oh, that's incredible. Let's go back to some comments here before we wrap it up. Fortune says Cuso loves Williams Bryce. Sandstorm is his ringback tone. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I'm a huge ringback tone guy. You call me, you got all kind of stuff coming back at you. Yeah,
yes.
Sandstorm's in my rotating list, right behind Jack Johnson and who. Trying to think of the cool ringback tones from back in the day. In Sync, maybe.
Yeah, a little In Sync. I like In Sync. I'm a big Josh. Can you start picking games for ESPN Pick'em's lineup? Theirs suck. Thank you. I would love to. Oh, look, my mustache is going off there. I would love to. Call me ESPN. Let's do it. There's a couple other comments I wanted to get to here. We got a lot of thanks, guys.
I got one if you can see it on there, Josh. JR Fortune asked for a Kentucky-Tennessee touchdown prop bet besides the obvious, which is Dylan Sampson. Who do you like for a TD prop bet in that game?
I like Brew McCoy. I do.
Do you?
I do. Big receiver, matches up well against their defensive backs at Kentucky. I think we get down near the end zone. We get down on about the 12-yard line. Give me a little post, a little corner out with Brew. And,
he's kind of due.
He is due. He's due. I like that. I also like Nico to potentially run one in.
I like Nico to run one in too. He's due to run one in.
He is. He's due.
Yeah.
And here's a controversial comment here, Billy Jack. Miami versus Pitt for the ACC title game after both teams went out. Clemson doesn't make the playoffs.
If Clemson doesn't win the ACC title, I don't think they make it.
Yeah.
I don't think they make it. They got thumped by Georgia. They're going to have a bunch of wins on their resume that include Wake Forest and Duke, which, I mean, I know we're singing Duke's praises, but, North Carolina, whoever. I'm not looking at their schedule. I'm just naming ACC teams. But
yeah,
I'm with you. What's going to happen is they're going to get to the end of the season. They're going to have two big games and be 0-2 against teams that are like top 25 or peer caliber teams. The other game that would be interesting for Clemson, I could see this happening for sure. I could see them getting beat by South Carolina.
I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah.
I could see them getting beat by South Carolina and then end up beating Miami. And then Clemson ends up in the playoffs with losses against Georgia, South Carolina, but they win the ACC championship. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened either.
That's a great take. That could happen. Because their schedules: Louisville, Virginia Tech. They win those. They go to Pitt.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a close game there at Pitt, but I think they get it done. Then they got the Citadel. Then South Carolina. So I think that's their biggest challenge. Is that game is nuts. Carolina.
So it is. If South Carolina could win this week against Texas A&M, that would go a long way. Because if you could put up a win against Pitt, let's say you lose to South Carolina, but South Carolina's beat Texas A&M, and then or let's say you win to South Carolina, you beat Pitt, and then you lose in the ACC championship. I could see them getting in with 2 losses. Yeah. At that point, you've got some good wins on the schedule.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. Okay. Crabtree, in reference to the touchdowns, he says Thornton and Mike Matthews. I'd love to see Mike Matthews get a touchdown.
I would too. And I like Thornton. I like the Thornton pick. If I had to pick one other than Sampson, I think I'd pick Thornton.
Okay. So you're thinking Sampson, Thornton. I'm going Sampson and Brew.
Yeah, and we both like Nico running.
Both like Nico. I like it. Put your prop bets in there. Let's
put them in.
Don't come back to us if it doesn't work out though.
Remember, we're just two guys with costumes on.
Right. We don't actually know anything. We just
Yeah.
put on costumes and pretend to be analysts. Well, this has been incredible. I mean, I just love our weekly show, and all of you guys that are following. A lot of you are probably following. You're watching this on Facebook or Twitter, and you're watching on my account, which I appreciate. Please, please, please go over to the honorable mention sports accounts and follow there. That is where the more of the sports content will be coming out with more stuff with me, more stuff with Caleb, Drew, and lots of great stuff. So make sure you're following Honorable Mention Sports there and honorablementionsports.com, the website. Check those things out. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and say we're actually looking for some sponsorships. So if anybody's interested or knows somebody that would like to be part of the show in some way, we may be willing to chit chat about the potential, advertising opportunities. So, drop us an email or something to that effect. Yep.
And
Caleb?
we'll wear these costumes.
Every day. Should we keep going with the costumes every week, or should it just be a one-time thing? It's Halloween.
I hope it's a one-time thing.
I can't handle this accent the entire
This jacket's so hot.
season. The jacket's hot. Guys, thanks for watching. I'm excited. Here, we'll live with Gina here. Love you guys. Tell mom hugs and love her too. That's very sweet. We will do that.
Absolutely. And remember, Army Air Force this weekend. Go Army, beat Air Force, baby. If it flies, it dies. Here come the Black Knights. Love it.
Here come the Black Knights. My gosh. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Watch some football.